We're going to look at CBAT. This is a part of my backlog, and I'll try to quickly go through this. I think my last video was way too long. Try to keep it snappy. So the reason I think this is a good stock is, number one, it's a multi-day runner. Number two, the volume is good during extended hours. Number three, the support is good for more pre-market in general, because I think especially with this stock, the signals or even the signs are not very clear. Okay, in general they are. If you look through the noise, you will see that the signs are there. So I've shown that the prior resistance is one of the best, around one of the best places to sell, and around one of the best places to buy too, or be in the stock. So during morning panic, stock goes down. Okay, so you want to, actually it's true, it actually had the exact same behavior over here. Stock goes down, but barely goes under zero and goes back up. So you could have bought right here, and then it starts to peak. It experienced some resistance there. And you could have sold over here at 3.16, whatever. So from here, 2.98 to 3.18. So that's a nice bullish trade. Next, at morning session, goes down. Sorry, you're gonna have to ignore the music. So it goes down, goes up, and at this point it's like $3.10. Crosses zero over here, you buy in. A lot of people buy in as well. Reaches to 3.42, and we've already, you should try to mark prior day's resistance. And you could have, as soon as it got up to 3.4, and we already know the prior day resistance is 3.45. If you want to be safe, take the sell. Another thing is, like I said before in many other videos, I guess, keep note of the MACD, sorry, not MACD, but the RSI level. So it's going to be easy to beat a 45 or 42 MACD level. So you could have bought, so I just want to double check here. So this whole area is kind of like a strong sell zone. And after a strong sell zone, generally there is strong buy at the end of a strong sell zone. You could actually have looked when the prices dropped, and then trying to buy when the price is kind of peak low and there's some support. So if you had bought near support, it would have jumped up. Again, drops low, starts showing some support starts rising, you buy in, jumps up, falls down during this candle, this 5-minute candle, yeah, and then jumps back up. And then it doesn't pass this, there's resistance here, you could have sold like many other people, would have gone down, whatever. And then, like I said, this is a good stock to get in before the opening session, before the morning session, because volume is, I don't know if I said it before, but anyways, volume on each of these candles are above 2,000 shares. So majority of them are above 2,000 shares. Not all of them, but majority. So you're trying to beat your RSI on your purchase price. So your RSI over any of these would have been pretty low and easy to beat. 45 is not that hard to beat. So let's pick this one, okay? I mean, you're betting that the stock is going to go up based on the past 2 days, okay? And then also you've taken note of resistance level, general resistance level on the past day. And then it goes up there, you sell it, and then it goes down again. And then because MACD is positive, it's a good sign that the stock will rise again. Also, we didn't really get a clear, we did get some resistance over here, but in terms of MACD, it's just going up. So, um, so you would have wanted to buy here where there's some resistance. You would have wanted to buy here where there's some resistance. And the reason I say that is because after a stock spikes up and starts coming down, as it's coming down, that's a good time to buy because it's going to spike up again. That's what you're kind of predicting based on the fact that it's a hot stock. So that's one trade. And then you could do another trade right here. That's where I would do it. And the reason I'm saying that is because volume is growing. Volume is growing from price falling. You can see the price falls, bad volume here, or bearish volume. And then it starts to rise. You could have also gotten here too. Here is even better. But so it's price falling. Then it shows a bit of support here, and I would have tried to get in over here. I think this is the best spot. That's a sweet spot. Also, take note of RSI. RSI is pretty dang low. It's 53, and you're betting for MACD to continue. And it would have looked like this. I want to just go back. It would have looked like that. Okay? Let's see, what would it really have? Oh, hold on. It's already in. No, I don't want to exit this mode. So this is good. You can see the volume is continually rising, but it's actually getting a little lower. So it's positive. But this is showing my price weighted volume. It's showing that the price is rising and the volume is rising a little lower. So it starts to fall here, and I would have wanted to sell on this bar based on both price and volume. And honestly, this is a decent spot to sell at because afterwards, you know, it's funny, the MACD didn't go down completely, it kept going up, but I still would have wanted to sell because I like that whole pattern of rising price and volume. So rising price and volume, you could see like volume increases here and prices increases here. But here it's more like price just increases, but volume does not. And another thing is, so you can look here. There might be some divergence, I'm not sure. But so price goes up here, and MACD is low. And price goes up here, and MACD is even higher. So this is basically a little example of divergence, I think, for MACD divergence. So this is also a good trade. I like this trade, and I like this trade. Moving on. So now, at this point, I think the most important thing is you're looking at. I think this is a really good point to make for myself and for anyone else. Anyone else who uses rate of change. When rate of change is under 0, that's actually a good time to buy, assuming it's a hot stock. If rate of change has gone to 0, it's a good time to buy. So like the hot stock is coming down in price. So price is coming down. Price is coming down. Rate of change shows that it hasn't continued to go up. So another thing is, so you could have bought anywhere here while the MACD is sloping down, but it's still in an uptrend, so that's good. And I'll turn on this algorithm, and basically what this algorithm shows me is that the EMA 1 is above many of the other EMAs, like EMA 50, EMA 100, EMA 150, EMA 200. So this is pretty safe. So you get a signal here because MACD has curved up above 0, and then it says to sell here. And I'm gonna kind of ignore that. I mean, you won't be able to respect all the signals. I think that's the problem with me because I tend to sell too fast, and that's something I could try to do, and I have done it before, and I've made some coin like that by ignoring the signals, because like, you know, price changes, right? You can get signals that don't necessarily continue. They will get repainted, like they will change after the time passes. So anyways, this is a pretty solid sell. You could have sold here, but I don't think I would have. I would have tried to hold on. And what you're betting on is that MACD is going to slope up. So I don't know. So you're watching the stock fall. You're watching the stock fall. Watching the stock fall. and then MACD kind of, like, it barely drops here, okay? I'm just trying to figure out a good buy point. I think the best buy point is when you see the stock jump up and then it comes down. So if it jumps up enough, and what is enough? So I'll show you percent. So from here it jumped from 7.82% to 10.39%. So that's 8% to roughly 2%. So 2 or 3%. I just had to jump up percent. So I'm back. So it's falling here, and then it jumps up 2 or 3%. It's created a strong buy signal, and that doesn't mean you jump in while it's hot. You jump in when it falls down. So I would have gotten in here or here, but I wouldn't have liked the fact that the rate of change is crossed. I would have waited, and then, like, you can see that support has risen, even though the rate of change is under 0. This is really risky, I don't know, but it all depends on what strategy you're going to use. I probably would have gotten in over here, based on where? No, I would have gotten in here. Really? Well, you know what? Let's not be greedy. So look. So MACD starts to scoop up over here. It's no longer going down. It's starting to go up. So if you had missed this, which is totally possible, if you had missed this, you could have gotten in when the volume is a little low. So see, volume falls here and starts to pop up over here. I would have liked to get in right here. You can even see that my price weighted volume indicator, it's telling me that that the negative volume is going up. So it kind of takes the average of the past 3 volumes. So basically you can see that the volume is rising. You can see a green here, a red here, a red here, and obviously like a much bigger red there. But like, actually this is, if you look very carefully, this is higher than the other one. So I would have gotten in here or here, and I would have taken note. I think this is the best bar to get in at, because this is still green. That's generally like kind of low zone for buying, and also our rate of change was above 0. So this is like a very safe buy-in spot. I would have held, and the whole goal here is to beat 57. Okay. MACD jumps up to 70, okay? Considering this is multi-day runner, and there is some resistance here for sure, like prior day's resistance, you really have to have faith that the MACD will go above, well above its average MACD height, resistance length. So you can see actually this indicator did a really good job of spotting the average MACD here. So it says that, like, you know, average MACD height was this high. And then sometimes, not all the time, MACD will go above that height. Yeah, so it didn't go above here, it didn't go above here, and you're betting, this is a really cool thing to think about, but you're basically, what you're doing is, if you're looking at a multi-day runner, and you've noticed that the average height of MACD was low, but then eventually it went really high and like crushed all the other prices. So here it was like 3.41 versus like a 2.78, a 2.72, a high of 2.67, and a high of 2.53. Like, it's literally crushed all the other prices. And the reason that is because, well, it's not the reason that is, but what the pattern has shown is that MACD on this price is well above the other prices. You go back to the past day, previous day where it rose again. There's other situations where the price was crushed. You can see. So at the opening, it went really high, 2.4. That's a very high MACD in comparison to the other ones. See, low, 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 very high, low, very high. then it goes low again, and then it goes very high again. So multi-day runner, that's how it is. So you are assuming that this is going to go high again. So you can actually hold on based on this fact. This is actually cool, I never thought of that. And then another thing you can take note of is, what is the RSI when it's very hot? So RSI over here was 86, okay? That's above 70, whatever, above all these other ones. MACD over here was 79, 71. So I think I would say, based on these past 2 days, anything around 80 or above 80 is when you should seriously consider selling. So if I had bought here at RSI 55, and then I'm just holding on to it. I'm waiting for MACD to show me it's a multi-day runner, and then it's like a hot stock. So you buy in here at 3.3, you're holding, goes down, support is rising, resistance is rising, excellent. Then RSI reaches, let's see, what was it here? It's 80. Literally, you could have taken profits at around 80. That would have been fine. Like, you could have taken profits around 80. That's fine. If you want to really risk it, and you think that you know, it's going to be hotter than the day before, you could have held longer and sold around here, which was 83, 85, whatever. So if you're a risk taker, you would have waited, and not only a risk taker, but you could also just watch the MACD and wait till that you see this kind of thing happening. And when I say this kind of thing happening, I mean like you see that there is a resistance, a strong resistance. Here there was not much strong resistance and a downfall. Here the downfall was pretty awful, and it didn't get to rise again. So I would have probably either sold here. I would have either sold here because there was no rise. It didn't go red again on my price weighted volume. And I think I would have, you know, another thing you can do instead of holding long, because technically when you're holding a stock, you're basically bag holding the stock. Even if it's going up, you're still holding a bag full of that stock. So one of the most important things that I've talked about in my previous videos is you have to work with volatility. Work with the wave. Goes up, sell, goes down, buy. Goes up, sell, goes down, buy. So you can see here that my volume indicator is saying, let's just do very quick experiment. So it's going up, waves down, waves up. You feel that it's waved up a lot, you can sell it here, okay? So let's sell it here. Then it waves down again. And then it starts to jump up again. Let's buy in again. Technically, I mean, it depends on where you sold it, but this is roughly below where that high was, so that's not a horrible buy. So it goes up again, falls down, goes up. You could just hold, or you could work with volatility. So let's say you wanted to sell here, okay? So you sell there, it goes down again, and then it goes up. It goes up right here on this bar. I would have bought in on this bar, and then volume just keeps rising, and then volume falls down a bit, but the price goes even higher. And I find that this is very much like divergence. I call it like volume divergence. When the price goes high, but the volume does not. So I would have considered selling here or selling here or selling here. I don't know, maybe that's too much. I don't want to talk about that. But I do want to keep in mind, try to beat the RSI. I think that's a good hobby, or a good practice, good habit. And yeah, so RSI here was 74, RSI here was 85. It was basically like higher on all of these. And then you got your resistance around here, but you wouldn't have wanted to sell here. I think I would have liked to sell here based on my price weighted volume. I think this is an amazing indicator. And the reason I would have wanted to sell here is because you can see that price and volume are going up. They're staying up. They kind of go neutral, and then it falls, and then it crosses the average resistance level. When I see that, this almost always gives me a signal to sell. So if I had sold here, you would have seen many people selling afterwards. I'm not sure why. I mean, like, not that I'm not sure why, but like, I don't have to think too hard about it because I can see that I've highlighted it. Can I move this? I've highlighted it, and it does tell me that this is a great selling point. So I would have sold it here, so I would have bought in here, and I would have sold it either here or here. Probably would have wanted to sell it over here. And this is a buy. So buy, sell, and then I would have wanted to buy it again either either here or here. And I would have got burnt for doing that. So I don't know. I think another thing that I will also want to keep in mind is I want to draw a line. I want to draw a line of support, a vertical support line. And then if the stock falls below the support line, then you're going to get a strong sell signal, and you're not going to want to be a part of the stock, and you're not going to want to try to bullishly trade on it. So these are some things to take away. I think I'll make this like maybe blue or something. Blue. All right. So nice linear trend over here. So it's like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And then you could have bought and sold here, but like the fact that you're seeing strong resistance over here for MACD, and when I say strong resistance, I just mean like MACD now has a negative slope. So we're not interested in being a part of that. Only at the very end we're interested in being a part of it. Like if it were to scoop up after, we want to see that MACD slope scoop up. So I'm gonna play it, and you're gonna see. So see how it's scooped up? You may want to get in at this price, 4.2. So let's say you get in at 4.2. Let's see what happens. Actually, you know what? I won't suggest getting in at 4.2 because rate of change is below 0. Let's continue to see what happens. Interesting. So it didn't go up. It went up, but you had to wait. You should have waited until like maybe here to buy in. So rate of change was above 0 there. Okay, I think that concludes the analysis on CBAT. I hope you learned something. I definitely did. Sorry the video was so long, but I think this was a good takeaway. There was things that I didn't notice before, like prior resistance levels, and I tried to talk about everything, about how like you should try to beat your RSI score, about how like volume is kind of important to watch. You should be selling on very high, consecutively increasing volume, and you should be buying when you see that the volume starts to grow. So, for example, here's a good time to buy because its volume is low and it's also growing. So, if you had bought here, you could get some of this, or even this, or even this. So you see what I mean? Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep up this habit, and hopefully during real time I can apply the same stuff. Peace out. All right.